So you're trying to build the perfect Pokemon deck. Well, in today's video, I'll show you some tips and tricks for you to build the perfect deck according to your favorite style of play. Before you even begin, the first thing you want to figure out is what kind of deck do you want to build? There are many different types of Pokemon. You got to find a theme and stick to it. There is grass, fire, water, lightning, psychic, fighting, darkness, metal, dragon, and colorless. You got to pick a theme and build your deck around that, with the only exception being colorless, which basically adapts to any style of play. Oh, and it's also very important to note that dragon types use a mixture of different type of energies. Well, now that you found your theme, the next thing you got to do is start building your decks, and these are obtained through pack openings. Important thing to know is that there's only 20 cards in a deck, so when you go into a battle, it is very important that you pick each individual card with a strategy and a purpose. Every card that you pick is very important for your success in winning a battle. Now, the fun thing about building decks is that it's almost endless possibilities. I mean, we're talking about you can sometimes mix different types. You could stick to a single type. Now, the only thing to know about trying to mix, like, let's say, water and energy types is that there you get energy zones. And these energy zones, they come out every turn. And if you have a water type on the field and it pulls a fire type energy, there's no way around that. Like, there's nothing you can use. That's why it's very important to sometimes try to stick to that typing when building a deck. When you build a deck, it's also very important that you must include things like support cards, items, and even fossils or tools, depending on what you have in your arsenal. Now, these things can help you very much so in helping you win a battle. Important thing to note is that when it's your turn, you can use all the items that you want. However, if the card says support, you're only allowed to use one support card per turn. Remember, when building a deck, try to at least have 2 cards of that same card. Because remember, there's 20 cards in a deck. And if you have that one Pokemon you're trying to evolve, and you only have 1 card of each, good luck trying to draw those cards in a 20 card pile. It is also very important to remember that you're only allowed to evolve that one type of Pokemon once per turn. You can evolve multiple Pokemons at once as long as they're different cards. However, if it's a 3-stage Pokemon, you're only allowed to evolve it once per turn. Those are very important things to remember. And most likely too, the energy zone goes up every time you evolve that Pokemon. Not always, but most times. Also, once you have your deck ready, you find your support card, you find your trainer cards, you found your theme, you know what type you're running with, don't go into ranked battles. Don't just go straight into ranked battles. First thing you want to do is challenge a random player on the random player challenge and see how the deck works. Get a feel for it. Try it a couple games, change some things up, and that way you'll know whether the deck needs some adjustment or not. Okay, so I gotta address the elephant in the room. Just like in all games, there is a meta. There is a meta, and if you played any kind of online games on this app, you already know. You've seen the decks, you've seen the Mewtwo's, the Giratinas, the Celebes, you've seen all those, the Moltres with the Charizards. I know you've seen the meta. Yes, there is a meta, but as updates progress, as new sets come out, as new packs come out, there will definitely be a change in all this stuff, and uh, things will get fun. Things will get better. I know sometimes those can be a little bit frustrating that you're trying to play with your favorite Pokemon or your favorite style, or you want to play, you want to run that Pokemon that might not have a special ability or anything. Totally understandable, but just give it time and meta will change. The point is for you to have fun, right? That's the whole point of this game, to trade, have fun, and collect cards. Collect these digital cards, which have absolutely gorgeous artworks. Well, I finally made it home. Now, there are distinct advantages and disadvantages to choosing your Pokemon type. For instance, like fire is weak to water, just like water is weak to electricity, electricity is weak to fighting type, so on and so forth. They're all intermingled, they're all interchangeable, and each type has its own advantage, weakness, and strength. And if you're lucky, sometimes your deck might be the stronger type. Now, the last thing we have to look at when building a deck is looking at the card itself. Now, here is an example we're going to use. For instance, this Mamoswine uses Frosty Flattering. It needs 4 energy card for it to be able to do its attack. As you can see, the attack itself will be able to do 120 HP damage. Now, if we zoom in to the HP, this Mamoswine has a HP of 160 or 160% life. Now, before you can even get this Mamoswine, as you can see on the top left corner, it needs to be evolved. Before it even gets to the Mamoswine, you have to at least pull a Poloswine first. Now, not all Pokemon cards have this, but it is very important to look at. Some cards like this one have abilities. Like its ability for this one is Thick Fat, which is pretty hilarious. This Pokemon takes 30% less damage from attacks from water or fire types. Last but not least, the last thing you want to look at is the retreat cost. As you can see, this one has a hefty cost of 4 energies for it to retreat back into your bench. Remember, that's something very important to keep in mind. But if you made it this far into the video, congratulations, you made it to the very end. This should be enough advice for you to now know how to build a deck, or at least have some knowledge when going into building a strong deck to fight in battles and have lots of fun. If you guys enjoyed this video and you made it this far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.